identity portrait, there's going to be two parts. In art class, we're going to be taking a picture so that everyone knows what you look like, and you get to choose your expression and how you want to stand in your picture. But we also need to create a background. So when we're creating the background, you want to think about what makes you special. What do you believe? What are the things that make you unique and different than other people? What are things that you enjoy? And then maybe think about how some symbols can represent parts of who you are. As you can see in these examples, these artists used color and lines to represent them. They used patterns and objects and animals to represent them. They used drawings as well as collage and cutting, things to represent who they are. So a good way to start is, like I did for my background, I first started by making a list of things that represent who I am. So I drew things that I liked, things that maybe were good descriptions of me, things the way that I feel like I am. So here's my list that I started off with. Before I did any drawing, I created this nice long list. So I like things like flowers and colors. I like to paint. I like jewelry. I like cats and kids. I'm a teacher, so I like teaching. I like fall and snow. I like artists. I like to draw. I like baking cupcakes. A lot of people talk about how much I smile. I like to be a loving person and a kind person. I'm a creative person, and mermaids are my favorite. So here's my long list of things that I like and things that represent me and good descriptions of me. So I circled some things that I knew that I could put into my picture, some things that I felt like I could really do a good job representing those. In some cases, like down here with love or kindness or creativity, I created a symbol that could represent that. It could be hard to draw love, but a heart can be easy to draw and it could represent love. A smiley face emoji could represent kindness, and it could also show that I like to smile. A light bulb I thought could be a good symbol for being creative. So after I had this list, I circled the things that I thought I could easily do and felt like I could do a good job in my background. Then I came in on my paper and I started to draw them out first with pencil. So everything you see here was drawn first with pencil, and then I came back in and colored some things in with crayon, like my light bulb and the kids in my picture and my emoji. I drew these things in with crayon. Then I started to layer some watercolor in the background. I also used tempera paint. And then for some cases, I even went and after I had filled up all of my space, I actually went back and cut some pictures out. I cut a butterfly. I love butterflies. I love colored glass. I have a collection of that, so I put that into my picture. I found that. I'm from North Carolina, home sweet home. Flowers, I love flowers. Remember, that was on my list. I didn't circle it, but I found it in a magazine, so I was able to include it. I saw this word while I was looking through the magazine, happy, and I feel like I'm a happy person. When you step back from your background, obviously your face is not on it yet, but everything that's in the background should make somebody understand a little bit about who you are. Before you add your picture into the middle, you need to reflect and think, does everything on my background mean something to me? Will people learn more about me by looking at my background? Have I thought about every spot on my background? Are there any big blank areas? Take a good look. If you can't connect to anything that's on your paper, if you can't describe why that represents you, maybe you should take it off. If there are big empty spots, like towards the edges of your paper, maybe you can think of something else that can describe you. Think about leaving one larger spot open, though, for your face, because you will be cutting that out and putting that on top. So this area right here is where I will eventually cut out my photograph and attach it on top of my background. Have a great time representing how special you are in your background.